What's going on, guys? Back here with another video. I'm doing this on my new tripod for my phone. That's how I record my videos. Anyway, sorry for the background noise. Anyway, I'll take you on a tour of my truck toolbox. I got three. Now again, I'm an aircraft mechanic during the week. I do small engine repairs and some automotive things on the side on the weekends. So these are what these toolboxes are for. At some point I will do another update on my actual aircraft toolbox at work. Not sure when that's going to be, but I will put a link in the description of this video when it comes, and obviously you'll see the upload when it uploads. Anyway, before I get started on this, two things I really want to say. I am very happy for all your guys' support, likes, and comments, and I hope you guys will keep doing that for me. Second of all, there are going to be some things missing out of this box, or some of my boxes, because I'm actually working on a project. So you're going to see that, like, for instance, my ratchet drawer is going to look a little more empty than it usually is because I'm working on another project, restoring an engine. So a lot of those tools are with that project at this time and moment, and I will do a separate video on those when I get time. Anyway, let's get in the video. So here we've got a Cobalt 5-door toolbox. This is what I used at A&P school for aircraft maintenance. Obviously, when I got my job as an aircraft mechanic, I updated to a bigger box. But this got me through. This was actually a graduation gift from high school. Got me through A&P school, and of course, I can see I've decorated it a little too much, but got a Ford emblem there because I drive an F-150 98. Snap-on, aircraft tool and supply, a lot of aircraft things, Shell. So up top, we've got a couple of magnetic trays. This one's got some old rusted bits. Need to clean those up and put those up, and some drill bits and things. Got my Bluetooth magnetic speaker. Really, really, really love this thing. It attaches to the side of my truck. It's very loud. Attaches to my toolbox. Stays charged, especially in the cold. I live in Indiana, so it gets cold in the wintertime here. The battery stays very well charged. Anyway, let's get on to the inside. So up top here, sorry for the seatbelt in the way there. I'll have to kind of work around that. Got a Snap-on logo, Goodyear aircraft tires. Anyway, get into the top box. We've got my Milwaukee 1/4-inch impact, hex impact. It came with my, it was a kit, came with a drill. I use the drill at work. We've got my headlamp that I use. It's got a zoom in. Got this at AutoZone. Paid like 30 something bucks for it. Very good light. This Volt King for just working like under the hood or underneath where I need some extra light. This Makita 1/4-inch impacts metric socket set. Spark plug gap gauge. Some drill to socket adapters. Craftsman magnetic light. Got this from a friend of mine. Very good mechanic friend of mine. A couple of plastic scrapers. We got a inspection pin light down here. Another light. Can't have enough lights. Another light. My backup headlamp. I've seen better days. I got this on AutoZone too, a long time ago. My inspection mirror that I gotta put back together. I got two inspection mirrors I gotta put back together. It's got a light, 3/8" drive speed handle, some wiring brushes, some cleaning brushes, a couple pair of gloves, charcoal respirator mask, piston ring, install tool. It just doesn't need to be up here. Put that back. In here we have my Cobalt. I got this a few years ago on a Black Friday sale. I think it was like retail was like 40 bucks. I got it for 20. Different bit set. As you can see, I got a couple at work that I took, and then the rest of these down here. Got some nut drivers as well, tamper proofs, things like that. So that's what's that. Of course, my Lowe's doesn't really sell Cobalt much anymore. Most Lowe's are getting that way. Highly recommend this. This is a Sunex 3/8" drive impact set, deep and shallow metric from 8, which I've got the 8 my other project, all the way up to 19 and 5/16 to 3/4, both in shallow and deep. Of course, a universal joint and a 3" extension. I've used the crap out of this thing, and it works absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend it. I got a wrench back there and a couple things that don't belong in here, so I'm going to move those real quick. Yeah, of course I'll drop them everywhere. Anyway, so that goes in here. We've also got a serpentine belt wear gauge for doing serpentine belts and belts in general. All right, we'll go on to the next drawer. As you can see, the lock's missing on this thing. I've got it, I just got to reinstall it. Down here, and again, sorry if this is a mess. This tends to roll around in travel. We've got a set of mini Hyper Tough, cheap Walmart pliers. And they're not the greatest, but they do. A pair of Rural King tractor supply type of tractor store, if you've never heard of it. Pair of needle nose. Got a pair of cheap snap ring pliers. Another set of snap ring pliers with interchangeable tips. Another set of snap rings, and then there's the interchangeable bits there. Again, sorry for the lighting. Move this out of the way. Safety wire pliers. Again, really don't use this except in aviation, which this was a cheap pair I bought at Amazon to get me through A&P school. When I got my job, I bought a very expensive pair, $80. Very well better than this, and it's reversible on the other one at work. But I keep this in here in case I ever need it. A pair of Irwin wire cutters, wire strippers. Work really well for the price. Another set of cutters or side cutters from Rural King. Just a pair of pliers from Crescent, so little mini ones. Oil filter wrench, 45-degree set of Rural King pliers. Just a normal set of Crescent pliers. Plumber's pliers, as I call them. And a big big set of needle nose pliers. So those are my pliers. Down here, again, sorry for the mess. Just travels messes it up. I gotta find a better way to get this done. Set of Titan screw extractors. Cobalt 90 right angle bit driver. It's really good. Used to use that in aviation a lot till I got a better upgrade. Cheap Harbor Freight screwdriver, you know, Harbor Freight, 99 cents one. Clutch from Northern Tools, ratcheting multi-bit screwdriver. Obviously the bits are in there. Love this thing, absolutely love this thing. Gasket scraper, snap-on pocket screwdriver. We've got some different pry bars, 2 or 3 back here. Longer bits. A couple of cheap screwdrivers. Again, I kind of cheaped out on my screwdrivers. Some longer bits. Got a Craftsman, a couple Stanley, Flat and Phillips. Some more bits. We've got some picks, both small and big. A T-handle screwdriver, and some Torque screwdrivers. So that is that drawer. And hang on a minute. Again, I gotta rework this drawer. Probably will after this video. There we go. All right, we go down here. Now this is where some of my stuff is missing because again, I'm doing a project and a lot of those are missing. I'm also in the process of, in aviation you use 12-point, so I have all 12-point sockets. You don't ever use 6-point really. In aviation, use 12-point sockets. I've got them both metric and standard here. I am eventually, as I've already started, switching them out with AutoZone Duralast 6 points because that's what usually use on automotive in lawnmowers and small engines. And I will keep my 12 points, but I'm going to have them on a separate rail, and I'll have them in a different box because I don't want them in here. So again, eventually this is all going to be 6-point, but we've got 1/4 inch and standard, both in metric. I got to build up this collection a little bit more. Again, most of that stuff is at work because I use that more at work, the 1/4 inch drive stuff. 3/8, again, this is Duralast. I've got one missing because I'm using it. And these are my deep, both metric and standard. These are both Cobalt. This is a mix of Craftsman and Stanley. Got a universal joint here. Some 1/2 inch stuff. It's kind of just a mix. Got a 17 mil snap-on socket somewhere in here. Got a Husky #2 socket with #2 bit. Oil filter wrench for my truck. For my oil filter. and a couple of extensions, Duralast spark plug sockets, different sizes. Again, I know it's kind of a mess in here and I'm missing some stuff, and I apologize for that. We got a little palm ratchet, 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. I got the 3/8 at work because I use it at work. We've got a clutch dual 1/4 inch 3/8 flexible ratchet. Love this thing, just wish the flex, you could tighten the screw. I wish you could tighten the screw up a little bit more to keep it from flex it kind of loose, for keeping it from flexing a lot, I guess when I'm done. Cheap Pittsburgh extendable 1/2 inch ratchet, Cobalt Universal 3/8, Icon breaker bar, 3/8, another extension. Husky torque bit sockets from T9 to 255, Pittsburgh 3/8 1/2 inch standard hex bits. And again, like I said, I will do another video, small video on the other tools that belong in here that I've got on my project. So I'm moving along here. This drawer maybe, these two drawers tend to be a little stiff. Anyway, so down here is a mess. I'm going to be getting a wrench holder to rearrange this, but this is a mess. Real King cheap wrenches, because if they break, I can replace them. Again, this is just a side thing I do. It's not my day job. I spend more money on my wrenches as a day job, as an aircraft mechanic. So for these, I just do cheap ones. But I've got symmetric Real King brand 6 to 19. We've also got some ratcheting wrenches. Here's a 1/2 inch standard, Cobalt adjustables, oil filter wrench, Craftsman standard wrenches, some gear wrench, ratcheting metric wrenches. The biggest size I've got is up to 1.25 inches here. Up at work, I go all the way up to 1 inch. Of course, you don't use metric in aviation, so that's why on that. But we've got Allen keys here, standard and metric. My stubby wrenches, standard. I need the metric set for that too, because I use those a lot. Let's see here. Down here, this drawer has been busted, so it doesn't come out all the way, so I'm going to try to do the best I can here. We've got a couple more plastic scrapers. This actually needs to go back to work. It's for a Dremel. We've got a 8-ounce ball peen hammer, a couple drill bits, a what I call a corrosion brush to get corrosion, or not corrosion, rust brush to get that off. Dead blow here, a couple more drill bits, bolt chart, set another drill bits, just a typical claw hammer. Down there, some punches and chisels, pin punches, home for homing out cylinder engines, or engine cylinders, if I can speak here. A little tape measure and a digital caliper. Also, that was in this drawer, and I need to go put this back. This is my seal installer tool, just a cheap Harbor Freight one. Recommended if you use a lot of those. As we move around here to the back of my truck, we've got my carry-on box. This is just kind of a box of things that need to be cleaned out, for one, and things I throw in when I need to be on the job and I don't want to have to go back to the truck multiple times. So we got some screwdrivers that don't go in there, a laser distance measure that needs to go back in that other drawer, another flashlight magnetic pickup, just some other sockets, just cheap ones that I throw in here, hey, if I need, you know, that way I don't have to keep going back and forth. Some nut drivers, some hose ends for air hoses, also another pocket screwdriver with interchangeable flat and Phillips, and a valve stem removal tool. Down here, again, I need to clean this out. I've got a Husky 1/4 inch bell flexible ratcheting set. I will clean that up in a minute. Custom inspection mirror I made actually when I was in school from a old 737 lavatory mirror, and just a piece of sheet metal angled. I really love this thing. Works well for getting into bigger spaces and at angles. Cheap multimeter, I need to upgrade. Another multimeter I made in A&P school we had to make in basic electricity. Some bolts and hardwares, a ruler, some more scrapers, more rugs, another speed handle with the socket already on it, hair gun, and some scrapers. And that pretty much does it for this. Now, if you give me 1 second, I've got this box left here. Let me grab my keys, and I will climb up here and do a quick video on this. Let me move this out of the way. And let me get my old self up here. As you can see, it has snowed up here in the last day or two, so there's ice. In here we've got some coolant, some towing cables, and some straps, another scraper. I'd like to do something with this area here. I got another container to put oil and filters and things like that in. It's covered. Working on that right now. Kind of an idea on that. Alright. This is just a cheap Craftsman. I think I paid $200 for this at Lowe's. Alright, so in here we've got more hardware. 2 things of flexible air hoses, come in real handy. Set of funnels. This is oil, the oil I use in my truck, Love Pins oil. And here is some ratcheting straps in this Milwaukee bag. Down here we've got a lug nut wrench doing tires. This little thing was made by a friend of mine. It is a vise that mounts into the hitch of I take the hitch off my truck and it mounts in there. So if I need to do some cutting, grinding, or whatever, bending, I just switch the hitch out and put this in there. Got a saw in here, it needs to come out. This is, I gotta get a new tube, but this is my brake bleeding kit for doing brake bleeds. Just took an old Awesome cleaner bottle and drilled out a hole in it. And got a tube that goes on there, so you can put it on the nipple when you do brake bleedings. Down here we've got my O2 sensor socket set and injectors. And down there we've got my compression test kit, dual compression test kit. We've also got some clamps down here, along with a valve install and remove tool. So yeah, that pretty much does it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, like I said, I do small engine repairs and automotive things on the weekend. My day job is an aircraft mechanic, and I will try to get a video up on that as soon as possible. And I want to thank you all again for all the support and subscribers. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate the comments and the feedback, and I will see you in the next video.